What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today we have another exciting unboxing to dig into. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it, everyone. And feel free to let me know what you're carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys and what you're carrying. So we have a OKnife, and we are taking a look at the Ratel. This knife was sent in by a good buddy of mine. Shout out to Mikey Reese for sending this guy in. You'll get your standard affair coin, Velcro pouch, the box, the microfiber cloth. So this was sent in for me to check out and eventually give away. So we have a nicely centered blade here. This is a model I've never checked out before, the Ratel, and it is going to be a Tanto with a black wash blade. It does look really good as well. That black wash finish looks good. Going to be a good user finish. Coming in 154 cm. Kaiser will be the OEM behind these. Kaiser does a fantastic job on their 154 and their build quality. So you have no, issues getting an OKnife here. The main gripe with me and with most other people, whether it's a content creator or just a casual consumer, is the big old branding on the front of the blade. Keep that small and up here. Make it the size of the steel marking and put it up there in the corner. And that would clean this knife up so much. The steel marking can go on the back. That can go up there in the corner very small, or put it on the pivot. You have a blank pivot here, put it on the pivot, and that would keep this blade extremely clean, really nice, but we won't harp on that too much. But I think that does need to be dealt with, and I'm sure they've been told that. Nice little row of jimping up here, nice stout tip, should be nice for poking and piercing purposes. As far as the detent and the action, this is the way a flipper should be done right here. If you have a flipper only knife and it has a light detent, something is wrong. A rear flipper like this should have a, very stout detent in order to be satisfying to open. And this has a wicked good detent. You can just tell by as soon as I push down, that blade is coming out a hellin'. You can push button it if you want, and you can light switch it. So that is nice. They do chamfer this out. We might be able to get a thumb flick in there. Definitely won't be able to get a reverse flick, but we can get a thumb flick. Probably won't be the most doable for everyone, but if you really ride that spine there and push, you can get it. You can do it. But mainly going to be just that rear flipper, which there's plenty of people out there who prefer a flipper only or prefer flippers. So definitely going to be in a lot of people's wheelhouses. Being in 154 and G10, this will be very affordable. We have flow-through construction, 2 standoffs. We have internal milling in there for weight relief. More so on the show side, a little bit on the lock side, and then we have good access to that liner. Big chamfer here to get to it, and then they do put some jimping there on that liner. No chamfer, but very easy to get to, and it is pretty comfortable even without a chamfer. Looks like we have pretty good lockup there, about 40% or so, I would say, which is pretty good. Everything looks clean, looks good. We have the standard pocket clip that Kaiser OKnife used, which is a pretty good clip for carry purposes and ergonomically speaking. It's pretty good. It doesn't typically get in the way, and there's not too much going on with it. It's a pretty clean pocket clip, especially for a more affordable knife. Now, they don't recess the clip, which is not a big deal, but they do recess the screws and give you plenty of room in there to get this in and out of the pocket And speaking of that, why don't we go ahead and we'll see what this guy looks like in the pocket. It will be left-hand friendly as well, so our lefty brothers out there can carry this guy. You won't have much at all, if anything, poking out of the pocket, maybe a tiny little bit. So if you're, into the deep carry side of things, this will be a good option to take a look at. Lanyard hole, and like I said, we do have tolling on this side for lefty carry, so kind of helping out lefties here in this case, which they don't get enough love when it comes to, certain knives. That's just the way it goes for whatever reason. And this is the way, companies that recess the pocket clip, I have no issue with that. I actually enjoy a recessed pocket clip, but if you toll it for left-hand carry and you recess the clip and you don't include a filler tab, it makes the front of the scale look like crap. You have a big chunk out of it, and then you have 2 holes as well. So it's just kind of an eyesore, similar to the branding on the blade. So I much prefer this, the flush mount, over a recess without a filler tab. But that's just my personal opinion. If we're just talking specifically about aesthetics. Now, is the OKnife branding on the front? This is a discussion that I've had with some people, and some viewers have said, I don't think that should deter you from buying a design that you like. If it's in material, if you really enjoy this design, is that enough to not buy it? I don't think it should, I don't think that should make or break your decision on the knife. There would have to be something else. Especially, you're going to be getting this knife to use it and be a user. So, it's, do we want it there? No. But should it make or break your decision to buy it? I don't think so. I don't typically let that, deter me from buying a knife, if it's a Kaiser. The companies that do still do that, which we're getting less and less of them, which is good. And I think eventually they will move to the other side, whether it's making it smaller and keeping it out of the way, or putting on the pivot, or just doing away with it, period. I think they'll eventually get on board with that, but I don't think that should make your decision. If this is something you really enjoy, or if it's another OKnife that you really enjoy, don't let that stop you from getting it, unless you just absolutely hate it, can't stand it, I don't know. But it doesn't bother me to the point where I wouldn't buy it if I really enjoyed the design, the blade shape, the materials. I would be able to overlook that if that's the only thing, which is not a big deal. It's not a massive deal at the end of the day. The knife is still going to be functional. You'll still get all the, utility out of the knife. If everything else is good from tip to butt on the knife, and that's the only nitpick or the only issue, that's something I can, kind of get past. But at the end of the day, I don't want it there. Why don't we go ahead and, speaking of the blade, why don't we see what kind of edge came on this? I don't know how much Mikey used this, if at all, but we'll see what kind of edge is on it right now. So we have a standard piece of notebook paper here. We'll use that primary edge. Got a pretty clean edge on it. Let's see what that secondary edge. Okay. That's pretty damn good. Sometimes you get these Tantos and that, the primary edge might be good, but then you get to that secondary edge and it's kind of hit or miss. This is definitely hit here. Very, very nice. Yeah, that's really well done. Yeah, that's got a pretty good edge on it. Definitely has a good working edge and a decent fine edge. If you were to touch that bad boy up, even just a little bit, that would be an absolute razor. So why don't we go ahead and we'll test this lock. There's no up and down play. And there's no side to side either. That's pretty stout in there. If I really wrench on this thing, no, I can't even get it to move. I can feel it wanting to move that liner there. But it's pretty stout. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Good. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Good job. Good job. That's what I like to see, baby. Yeah, this is, this is a good little EDC knife right here. If you like Tanto blades, 154 is a fine steel. The black wash finish will be good for a user finish. And I'm sure they have plenty of other options as well. If you don't like blue, they probably have red, green, black. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess they have a plenty of other options. They may even have micartas. I'm not sure, but you can head to OKnife's website and check it out, or hop on Amazon and check them out. I'm sure these are all over the place, and I'm sure they're very affordable as well. Yeah, if you like flippers and Tantos, this would be a nice little EDC knife, especially if they're, say, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks or so, somewhere in that ballpark. This would make a fine EDC knife. My only nitpick, my only complaint is the OKnife, and a nitpick would be I wouldn't mind seeing a nice backspacer in here. That would just add to the ergonomics of this knife, but doesn't need it. That's another, doesn't make or break the knife, but it would just be a nice addition. Won't mind having a chamfer on the liner as well, but all intents and purposes, pretty nice little EDC knife. You guys will have to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Love hearing from you guys, especially on these new knives coming into the channel. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Really appreciate it, guys. And if you're new here, we release videos just like this one every single day, sometimes twice a day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. We would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.